Behind these walls lies one of Britain's oldest and most haunted prisons. Shepton Mallet first opened in 1625, a grim fortress of punishment and isolation. During the 18th and 19th centuries, men, women, and even children were locked within its damp stone cells. Public hangings took place just beyond these gates, drawing crowds eager for a morbid spectacle. In the Second World War, the prison became a military jail. American servicemen held and executed here under wartime justice. Later, it stored national treasures from the British Museum, and even the Doomsday Book were hidden away from the bombs. Shepton Mallet finally closed its doors in 2013, but some say its inmates never left. The echo of footsteps, the clang of iron doors, and whispers from the condemned still haunt these corridors today. So for me, Shepton Mallet represents a sense of normality. It was late 2019, just before the world learned about COVID-19, that I did my last ever televised stunt performance job as a fight scene here at Shepton Mallet Prison. The scenario was there was a prison riot, and myself and a couple of other stunt performers were working here that day. And immediately upon entering the C Wing, I felt something very unpleasant with me. And I kept saying in my mind that, I'm not here for that. Please leave me alone. I've got to be concentrating on, this fight scene, because these guys I'm doing this work with are pretty good. They could have taken my teeth out. We did the fight scene, we filmed the fight scene, we rehearsed in another part of the prison. And like I say, all the while I was in here, there was just this feeling of somebody stood right next to me, this pressure on my shoulder almost. And as an empath, the feeling I got was just desperation, sadness. The only thing I can liken it to is, I suppose if you imagine, someone who's just had the worst luck imaginable, somebody for whom everything's gone wrong. This wasn't just, depression, this was beyond depression, it was desperation. And, I certainly got the feeling that this was a spirit entity, a conscious spirit entity who was trying to communicate with me. May have realised that I am a medium, even though I was not here for that, and I'd closed down, even before coming into this wing, while doing stretches and warm-up, I made sure that everything was closed right down. Yet this poor soul still managed to try to communicate with me. But nowhere else in the prison complex did I feel that. The wing where we rehearsed, nothing. Where we had catering, nothing. Where we got into costume and makeup, nothing. It was just here on C Wing, so I'm going to have a walk around now and see if we can still feel anything. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. There's been a lot of paranormal teams and a lot of mediums who've come in over the years. Since then, maybe somebody's released it, maybe he's followed somebody home, who knows. But yeah, I really didn't have the time to try and investigate further on that day. Yeah, so here's the walk around on C Wing. I'm being fairly quiet because I've already scared the hell out of a couple of youngsters who came to visit the place. They said, "Oh my God, we thought you were a demon." Well, maybe I am, who knows. Now, from the skeptical view, you could certainly say that anybody coming in here would feel unpleasant, would feel bad. This is not a place to look forward to. It's not Disney World, it's not Thorpe Park. This is not a place where happy memories were made. We actually filmed on the very top floor that's inaccessible at the moment. Certainly this kind of wire mesh was installed up there, and that's where we did the fight scene. Certainly at the moment I'm not getting an impression of anyone who's, you know, trying to communicate with me. Having said that, we spent the majority of our time the other side of this wing. For some reason, I think we just stored all of our bags and like elbow pads and stuff over that side. Didn't really come over this side. But, you know, when you consider that up until, well, not even just recently, it still goes on, a lot of people with learning difficulties, a lot of people with psychiatric problems end up in prison institutions rather than receiving medical care. Never noticed that before. The Johnson's quarters. So obviously this was a place where there was a lot of very negative emotion. People were very, very unwell. Even some people who were just plain nasty, you know, just really, really horrible people who'd committed some really nasty crimes. So yes, I mean, you're not going to feel like a happy vibe coming in here at all. It's not that kind of place, that's not what it's for. And yes, the air is kind of damp, kind of mank, kind of dank even. So yeah, you're not going to be feeling 100% at all in these places. It's kind of mould everywhere. Let's have a seat. So obviously, you know, the skeptics would say that it's just the environment, the fact that it's cold and damp and just an unpleasant place. That's why I felt that feeling. But as some of you know, I am a medium, and one of my forms of communication is the clairsentient sense. So feeling emotion. I'm not clairvoyant. I don't really see as such. I'm not clairaudient. I don't hear as such. I do feel emotion, and usually emotion that is completely alien to mine, and that's how I notice it. So I was actually quite happy that day. You know, I'm working on a film with a couple of friends. My friend, who I've known since 10 years old, Dom, he was the stunt coordinator, the fight coordinator. My other friend Tristan is a really skilled martial artist. We're having a good day, you know, doing this fight scene, getting paid. Free catering, you know, life was good. So yeah, there's absolutely no reason for me to feel down, to feel depressed, to feel that level of, you know, desperation. Yeah, it was there. It was constant, you know. So I'm not feeling it now, though, thankfully. So thankfully this is a bit of a happier visit to Shepton Mallet Prison. So I've already done a walk around, scared a few people by accident. Seen places that I didn't originally see when we were filming, because obviously we're here to get the film done. In the film business, time is money. So we had to do our rehearsal, get the scene shot. Because oddly enough, there was actually a paranormal group coming in that night. So we had to have our scenes wrapped and done in the can by about 9 p.m. Because this paranormal group was coming in, and so we had to get it done. So yeah, no time to look around at all. It is a fascinating place. I mean, you know, just the amount of people who have been through here, all different types of people. Some people would have been here for committing very minor crimes, other people very serious crimes. A number of people took their own lives here. Other people were executed here. Thankfully, it's not feeling too bad. But yeah, could you imagine this is your life for many years? And all of this would have been a recent feature to give you some level of privacy while using the facilities. Yeah, thankfully, the start to my haunted road trip does feel normal. I'd say my memories of this place are, let's say, having done that fight scene on that film. So I'm quite confident that whatever was with me on that day, whether they were trying to communicate with me that day, is gone. Whether it followed somebody home or whether it was released, I don't know. So, thankfully, situation normal. Now, tonight, I'm going to be staying at somewhere a little bit more weird. So this is the official night one of my haunted road trip. Maiden Castle. It's Europe's largest Iron Age hill fort, although it dates back to the Neolithic period. About 600 years BC, there were significant improvements, upgrades if you like. Then the Romans came over and had a bit of a ding-dong with them. Yeah, so I'm going to be staying out here overnight doing some car camping. It's a car park just down there. Yeah, so the plan is, so this is meant to be a UFO hotspot, southwest, which I believe is that direction. There's been reports of lights in the sky. There's been reports of ghost armies, presumably the Romans, seen walking around here. I've got to be a bit careful though, because there's the notice board down there that says the site is open, basically in sensible hours, like daylight hours. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a few vans down there that look like they could also be containing overnight campers, van life people. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to be busy down there. If we're going to get bothered by the police, I really do not know. Okay, so here's the setup. A bit of a mess at the moment. I realise that some of the stuff I need, first and foremost, is stuff that I've actually buried deep at the bottom of all the boxes. My planning was not on point. Yeah, I've got medication in with data cables, salt and pepper in with contact lenses. Yeah, I really didn't think of that I need to unpack everything to get to the bits I need. So I'm just transferring some of the footage I got earlier at Shepton Mallet Prison, getting it onto a data stick, so that I've got backup after backup. It'll be on the cloud, it'll be on my phone and the data stick. Just had a chat with one of the locals, came to walk his dog, and I said, oh, you know, I'm a little bit paranoid about the police or anybody moving me on. And he said, no, really do not worry about it. Seemed like a real nice guy, actually. He said his kids are into the paranormal, told him what I was doing. Yeah, so I'm actually feeling a bit more confident. I'm still not going to take the piss, still not going to do anything, you know, that would rouse suspicion or be disrespectful in any way. You know, first and foremost, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints. You know, that kind of attitude from the urbexes. There is an amazing smell of sheep shit around here. Got loads and loads of sheep, and yeah, it's got that real nice that aroma that wakes you up. Yes, so I'm going to wait for it to get a little bit darker, and then I think I'm going to crack open a beer and cook some food. But for now, I've got the power bank running, power station, firing up the laptop, transferring some files and data, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Absolutely beautiful sunset, as you can see. It's what it's all about. So these two vans here, I'm definitely going to be here overnight. The one at the very back, so I had a chat with him. He's actually broken down, so he lives there. This other guy in the front, he's been there a while. He's been there a while. These people, they don't know them, so these people might be just here every night. They might be gone by dark. I have moved my car. Apparently at dusk the youngsters come up to smoke their ganj, and they can just be, you know, just a bit intrusive. And bearing in mind they're smoking weed, they don't really keep it quiet apparently. So people staying overnight tend to park around the perimeter. They park straight up the middle apparently. The fella in the van at the back there, he's been staying here pretty much since March, and yeah, he said the police sometimes do come up. They're no bother, ask him if he's okay. He's quite often having a beer when they do arrive, and they just leave him to it. They know he's not going anywhere. So yeah, let's wait for darkness and see how the vibe is then. Switch to night vision mode. Haven't used this camera for ages. I don't even know remember how it's meant to be set up, configured. Yeah, there's a lot of cars coming in. It's all youngsters smoking ganj. So yeah, I'm just going to hang tight a little bit more. I'm not going to be doing anything for a couple of hours. Probably more like midnight until I'll be doing something.